So the big news of the week is that the charges against Amy Cooper, aka Central Park Karen, have been totally dropped.
But there's a little more to the story than that.
Viva Frei, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber, and a follow-up in what looks like it's going to be the end of the Amy Cooper, aka Central Park Karen saga. For those of you who may not be totally familiar with the situation, I suspect you might be the few people who are not on social media. Amy Cooper, aka Central Park Karen, is the woman who over the summer had something of a mild flip-out at a man named Christian Cooper, no relation, while she was walking her dog in the Ramble in New York City. And for those of you who may not know, Amy Cooper, aka Central Park Karen, is a white woman, Christian Cooper is a black man, and I don't ordinarily pay attention to aspects of identity politics, except they are central to this story. The entire incident in a nutshell, and let me see if I can actually do this in one breath. Amy Cooper took her dog to the Ramble in Central Park, which is a place where people go to walk their dogs. It is also a place where people like Christian Cooper go bird watching. Now, dogs off leashes scare away birds, and Christian Cooper didn't like this, so he asked Amy Cooper to put her dog on a leash, and when she refused, he said, if you don't put your dog on a leash, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and you're not gonna like it, and that's when the proverbial poo-poo hit the fan. I think I may have actually taken a breath mid-sentence there, but darn it, I'm not doing that again. Christian Cooper, by his own account in a Facebook post, said, look, if you're going to do what you want to do with your dog, I'm going to do what I want to do, and you're not going to like it. And he then called her dog over because he had biscuits in his pocket, because I guess this sort of thing happened to him in the past already. Setting aside whether or not it is in fact a third-degree felony to offer treats to a stranger's dog, Amy Cooper took this to be a threat, and then she called the police to tell the police that a black man in Central Park was threatening her. Christian Cooper, after he said what he said to Amy Cooper, started recording Amy Cooper's absolute meltdown and freakout, posted it to social media, and given today's day and age, what happened. The video went viral. Amy Cooper got fired. She temporarily had her dog taken away from her. She got lambasted and bombarded on social media and the internet, and she actually faced criminal charges. Amy Cooper was actually charged with one count of filing a false police report as a result of the police report she filed, given the video evidence where some did not think she was in the degree of threat that she thought she was in. Well, this week she had that charge against her dropped. In the event that this overview was a little too summary for you, or you would like a more thorough analysis, I've actually done a few videos on the subject. You can go check them out. I will put them in the pinned comment below. But moving on to the dismissal of the charge against her. NBC News, US News. Charge dropped against white woman who called police on black birdwatcher. Video of Amy Cooper calling 911 to report that a black man was threatening her in Central Park made national headlines. The criminal case against a white woman recorded on video calling police to claim that a black birdwatcher was threatening her in New York City's Central Park was dropped Tuesday. Prosecutors in Manhattan Supreme Court, the main trial court, announced that they were no longer pursuing a misdemeanor charge against the woman, Amy Cooper, who was accused of falsely reporting an incident in the third degree. And this is where the distinction between causation and correlation is going to be critical, because the next paragraph reads as follows. She completed 5, quote, psychoeducation and therapy, end quote, sessions that helped her, quote, appreciate that racial identities shape our lives, end quote, and that, quote, we cannot use them to harm ourselves or others, end quote. Assistant District Attorney Joan Iluzzi said. So here we have two separate and distinct facts. The first fact is that the charge against Amy Cooper was in fact dropped. The second fact is that the district attorney says that Amy Cooper completed 5 psychoeducation therapy sessions, and now the question is whether or not the two facts are correlated. The question is whether or not the completion of the 5 psychoeducation and therapy sessions caused the charges to be dropped. Well, whether or not it did in fact cause the charges to be dropped, you know that people are going to report it that way. Timcast. Judge drops charges against white Karen after she completes woke leftist re-education center session. Philip DeFranco also reported it with this causation angle, and Philip DeFranco, for some reason, I still can't seem to post a visible comment on your channel. And the evidence, here I posted a comment, Viva Frei test, in between Les Cubiertas Delanteras and 5th new account because YouTube is awful. When I switched to my other channel, Viva Family, and in case you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, it's a good channel, this is what I see. The comment from Las Cubiertas Delanteras is there, and the comment from 5th new account because YouTube is awful is there, and my comment, Viva Frei, is is not. But I digress. Now, Philip DeFranco and Tim Pool are in fact reporting on this as though there was causation between the 5 psychoeducation and therapy sessions and the charges being dropped, but I can't blame them because MSM is reporting the same thing. From the NBC article, quote, Ms. Cooper's therapist reported that it was a moving experience and that Ms. Cooper learned a lot in their sessions together, end quote, Iluzzi said. Quote, having completed the restorative justice program to our satisfaction, we now move to dismiss, end quote. Cooper's defense attorney struck a more defiant tone in a statement issued after court, while thanking prosecutors, quote, for their integrity, end quote. The lawyer, Robert Barnes, lashed out on Twitter. This lawyer, Robert Barnes, sounds like a total madman. He went out on Twitter and lashed out afterwards? Let's go see what this lashing out read like. After a thorough and honest inquiry, the New York DA's office dismissed all charges today against Amy Cooper. We thank them for their integrity and concur with the outcome. Others rushed to the wrong conclusion based on inadequate investigation, and they may yet face legal consequences. Well, that is one heck of a lashing out. Robert Barnes, you should be ashamed of yourself, and I say this tongue-in-cheek because for those of you who don't know, Robert and I are actually very good friends, and we do a weekly live stream on this channel every Sunday. So when I'm reading this article, I am asking myself, is there causation or correlation between the two distinct facts, that being the 5 psychoeducation therapy sessions and the charges being dismissed, to which Robert Barnes said the following.
Can quote me as follows. Quote, no plea deal, no diversion deal, straight up complete dismissal, end quote. Can add, quote, legally same as complete acquittal, end quote.
You can quote him.
Some media outlets are describing this as something of a pre-trial diversion program or a diversion deal, and if that sounds familiar, it's because we saw this concept in the context of Jussie Smollett. Pre-trial diversion programs are sort of a non-criminal prosecution program that are offered to first-time offenders of non-violent misdemeanors or certain felonies. It is a program that is offered to first-time offenders in a manner that allows them to resolve the accusations without having a criminal record, but there is something of an admission of guilt of sorts to agreeing to a pre-trial diversion program. Jussie Smollett saw the charges against him dropped on the basis of a pre-trial diversion plea, but it also saw him forfeit his $10,000 bond to the city of Chicago. So while some in the mainstream media are describing this as something of a pre-trial program plea, we are hearing it straight from the Barnes' mouth.
No diversion deal, straight up complete dismissal, end quote.
Now, in fairness and thinking critically, although there might not be direct causation between these two separate facts, there might be something of a correlation between the two, as in, although the district attorney may not have imposed the psychoeducation and therapy sessions as a precondition to dropping the charges, Amy Cooper might have willingly sit down for those sessions so that they would be more amenable to dropping the charges. We may never know. All that we know is that there was a complete dismissal, which legally speaking is the same as a complete acquittal. And above and beyond the facts in this particular case, I think in general we should all just take a step back, show a little more compassion to our fellow humans, and when we see someone who is clearly not in a good headspace, we should not rush to our phones to record the incident, to post it to the internet, and possibly ruin someone's life over this type of interaction. There is injustice in this world, but you don't fight injustice with more injustice. So that is the wrap-up to be discussed this Sunday with Robert Barnes, among other legal issues. And if you like my videos, you like my content, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment in the comment section below because it feeds the algorithm. If you want to support the channel, all of these support links are in the pinned comment. We've got PayPal, Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube membership. Robert Barnes and I have a page on Locals. It is called vivabarneslaw.locals.com. I am also on Rumble, and I think I see my wife out there. You want me to come in?
He's not peeing.
All right, it's time to go in, and now you know your vlog. Peace out. Booyah!